Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and I want to recap on all of the news that we have had going on this week in STO for both console and PC. And let's start with a recap of the patch notes from Tuesday. So, on all platforms, the winter event was activated on Tuesday, and it is going to be running through January 5th. It is an event that you are going to want to partake in, and you have multiple routes to do your daily progress to earn the ship. You don't have to do just that ice race. The ship this time around, the Fakiri Burjai Interceptor, is actually really good, and it's looking like the trait, console, and even the experimental weapon off of it may be quite useful for a variety of builds. So, for a free ship, I really would not miss this one because this is the type of ship where if you miss out on it, you're going to be pissed off at yourself half a year to a year from now for not getting it because you need a component of it for a build that you're working on. So definitely do not miss it. And if you have any friends taking a break, tell them to hop back in and just figure out a way to easily do the daily each day that works for them, because this really is one of the better event ships that we have ever gotten. Okay. There was some issues on Xbox that were causing or blocking people from sending invites. It looks like that's been fixed. Over on PC, there were some costume fixes. We had some fixes for some TFOs like Bug Hunt. And the important things here are that they changed the behavior of powers and abilities that use the confuse effect, so that captains cannot target allies with those powers and abilities while they themselves are confused. So that's fairly niche. You might see that happen at like the end of Hive Onslaught, where you would get confused and you could apply offensive abilities to an ally. It looks like this change is looking to prevent that. And of course, we had this big set of stuff added with the fleet update, which I covered in a past video. This is very buggy in its current state, and probably is not going to be like fully fixed until sometime early in 2023. In fact, they straight up said it's not going to be fully fixed until 2023. So just be careful when donating Doffs to your fleet. Something that I did forget to mention in that video the other day, talking about the fleet update, is that if you contribute more Doffs than are needed for a project, the excess get added to a coffer, and then when there's another project that pops up on your fleet on that holding that needs that type of Doff, people can just pull from the coffer to fill that project. So if you end up contributing too many very rare Doffs or whatever to a project, the excess is still going to be useful for your fleet later on. And if you're in a fleet, there's also the Winter Event 2022 project that you can run on your starbase. This will add in the holographic, like the holographic visual of the ship inside your fleet starbase. They do this each year, so if you want to go through and get that slotted, that runs in the special project slot on the starbase, and it just takes 213 of each of the commodities from the winter event. Next up, we have a key in Lobi Sale that has been active now for a few days. This is running up through December 12th. This is a 15% key sale, so not the best key sale we've had recently. The keyring bundle is back, and we also have a 20% Lobi sale that is also going to be running through December 12th. Now, I have quite a bit of Lobi myself right now, and I'm not going to burn it on any of these 20% sales. You know, they have not run one of the big 50% Lobi sales in quite a long time. They usually run them around the time of the anniversary event, so sometime around February. And I think it's about every other year that they've been doing those. So the last one was 2021. I think that there's a very good chance that we may see a 50% Lobi sale early next year. So I'm not going to waste any of my Lobi on these 20% sales. And if you're looking to get the most out of your Lobi, unless you really need something right now, I would try to just hold on to as much of your Lobi as possible to save it for the possibility that there is a better Lobi sale sometime early next year. Now, I have some other news here that is going to probably annoy some of you. The first is that they have changed the Kobayashi Maru transponder. This is something that you can buy in the Mud store, and I've had quite a few people asking me about it, asking whether they should buy it. And I generally tell people, for 20 bucks, it's not really doing that much for you. But now it's even worse because it now has a shared cooldown with any of the distress beacon devices, like your Herc distress call. So before it did not have a shared cooldown, and now it does with the patch on Tuesday. So if this was something that you used, it may have just been made a bit harder to use if you do actively use the other distress beacons that we have. It is very much a bad change. This is really, it's a nerf to something that was put into the Mud store. So really not a good change. I hope that they reverse it. The Kobayashi Maru transponder does not really do any damage. It just provides boosts to you and your team. Whereas these other distress beacons, those actually call in ships that do damage and all that. So not a very good change, and not happy to see it. Now, we have official confirmation from the devs regarding the Breen Omni. So some of you have probably heard that it does not interact with the existing Omni stacking limits, or the restrictions that we have with Omnis, and that is indeed a bug. So come next week, the Breen Omni will have the same restriction as any other set Omni, meaning that if you want to put it on your build, you are going to be choosing between it and an Omni that is actually working with your damage type. So the Breen Omni is doing cold damage. It doesn't have many ways to boost it up. Its damage is significantly worse than, like a normal set Omni would be. That matches the damage type of your build. So most likely, whenever that patch goes live, people are not going to be using the Breen Omni anymore. It might have some niche use cases on some sciencey builds, but I just don't think the Breen Omni is something that I'm going to really be able to recommend with these changes, unfortunately. Now, the last set of things here I want to mention, I had a request over on the Builds Discord to shout out this survey, just to help get some more data for it. There's a college kid going through and doing a survey, trying to get some information about how much people spend on games and stuff like that, and they're doing one for STO. So I'll include a link to this form down below if you want to go through and fill it out. It's really basic. Though I think that they have very low expectations of how much money people spend on this game, with their highest bracket being $35. So if you want to go help out this college kid, I'll include a link to this form in the description down below. But that's really it for today, and really this week. There really hasn't been a ton outside of the winter event going on. It's probably going to be pretty quiet the rest of the year when it comes to STO. I mean, we're still going to have a few sales popping up here and there, and there should be some really good flash sales around Christmas and New Year's, but I don't foresee us getting too many more big changes before now and the end of the year. For me, I'm working on an Excelsior 2 review. I'm going to get back to recording it after I finish this video. The Excelsior 2 has caused the entire Lockbox ship market to increase in price, basically, because the demand for it's just absolutely nuts. And unfortunately, when I get this review done, the price probably is only going to continue to be high because the ship itself is pretty good, and the console can definitely be good in some scenarios. So stay tuned for the review that I'll be dropping here, hopefully sometime early or later on Saturday. But that's going to be it for today. Actually, one last thing while I'm here that I almost forgot to mention. there is actually a giveaway going on over on my personal Discord, which is linked in the description down below. Also, this is not on the builds Discord. This is on my actual personal Discord, and it is for an Infinity T6 ship of your choice. And the options there do include the Crossfield refit and this new Excelsior 2. So this is courtesy of Martin. If you want a chance to get in, it's running for another 20 days up through the end of December here. So head over to my Discord, go to the giveaways channel, and just hit this blue party icon at the bottom for a chance to win a T6 ship of your choice. Now that's everything. I don't think I'm missing anything now. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below as always. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you again to all viewers and channel members for the continued support. See you guys next time.